All right, so I just got back home, got my staples removed, and still feels a little funky from the appendix. Anyway, I'm trying to get some stuff done. I did a little running around. I bought a like a 4.5 foot file cabinet, like basically from here to there. So, um, and then I've got another file cabinet. So what I'm going to do, one of these is shorter. I'm going to put the other one right here. It's just like this one, or this one. I can't remember which. Anyway, it's going to go over here. I'll put the computer in between here, and then I'll store tools and stuff like that in here that I need to work on. And then the 4 foot file cabinet, I'm going to put four. It's got four drawers. I'm going to put four radios in there, and then you get them out of my sight, and ones that I don't use, and we'll be good to go. So then we'll have like four less radios up here. So, I'm gonna probably put the 101 ZD, the regular 101. I'm probably gonna put up too, and the maybe I'll leave that 102 over there. So, in fact, if I had a couple of these, I would actually probably just take all of these, put them in file cabinets because I don't need them all out here. I've already got three radios here that are modern radios, that I could, it would take up plenty of room. I could literally take all this crap and put my amplifier up here, my tuner up here, and all the radios up here, and I still wouldn't have enough room. So, but I got the file cabinet sitting in the back of the truck, and I just had to figure out, am I even going to put it out here? Because it actually doesn't need to be out here. It could be inside the house. But I want to get the 901 down where I can use that radio. I'm not interested in using really either one of these two. If I could get an AM filter for the 101, I'll use it on 80 meters and 40 meters AM. Other than that, that's the strongest radio I have too, as far as for 101s. It puts out really good power, so it would be great for AM. But I don't have an AM filter. None of the radios that I have an AM filter. And a guy did mention, hey, you could just make your own filter out of what do you say, capacitor and inductor, or a capacitor and a resistor, an LC circuit. So you could just do that, and basically you'd be able to widen it up on the receive, and I think it transmits through something else. I'm not sure. Maybe it does transmit through the filter. If that's the case, then these 101s, they would be transmitting and receiving through the single sideband filter. And so the modification on these radios, even though they all have AM, there is not a spot for an AM filter. So you have to choose between AM or CW. And you put your AM filter in CW, and you move some jumpers on the band switch here, I think, where it selects it for AM instead of CW. So, but I've never had a 101 with an AM filter, but I've been told by many different people that they're extremely good on AM. The problem is with AM is a lot of these guys, like, they key down for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. They read off of some long dissertation about the notes that they've taken and all the other people's happenings and goings. And so, it's a very, very buzzard, long-winded type of thing. I enjoy listening to the AM, but really sometimes I couldn't give two turds less about what these guys have written down on their piece of paper, and it's really, really, really boring. But I like AM. I prefer AM to sideband, but unfortunately that's not the common thing these days. So this one here does AM, and it does have an AM board, and an AM board does have an AM filter. And there's been some modifications to the AM board. So actually, I should probably test this radio and see what the AM looks like on it. Also, I think the 901 has AM filters. So I think maybe if I'm going to do AM, maybe 901, 102 has an AM filter. And that has AM filter. And this other 102 has a special AM board. And then, believe it or not, the 756 Pro that you can't hardly see here, it has really good AM, and You set your carrier and it'll go 100 watts. Pretty good. This radio doesn't do AM. I generally avoid ham radios that do not have AM. Just because I like to listen to it. I like to do it every once in a while. And I just feel like... and also, like, I don't like radios that don't have 160 meters. This doesn't have it. I only have a couple of radios that do not have 160. That's one of them. This one doesn't have 160, although you can add it in the auxiliary position. I did try and do it, and I used a crystal out of another 101, and I couldn't quite get it to work, but that's okay because I don't have a spare crystal to put in that radio. So the idea is, though, if that was my only radio and I really needed to get on 160 meters, it's doable. I might not know how to do it, but I know that I have friends that do, and they could figure it out. So that's the important thing. That one there, really what I need to do is just go through that one because that's a 101E. And really that's the best one to own, the 101E. We just need to get all that CB crap out of it and then get it all lined up and probably some better tubes. So the problem is if I wanted to get rid of any of these radios and I made like one perfect radio, well, let's say like I pulled the tubes out of this because I know they're really good and put them in this and put the soft tubes in that one or the other one, and then they still do like, pretty good power on the lower bands, but, over 100 watts. But if you try and sell this radio, you're going to be lucky to get $100, $150 for it. And if you have accessories with it, it's not going to gain you any extra money. So like these radios here, you don't want to sell it with the speaker, you don't want to sell it with the VFO, you don't want to sell it with the monitor scope, and you sure as hell don't want to sell it with the display down here that I have, because it won't do you any good. If you take it to a ham fest, they're going to want to offer you $100 and they want all that with it. So it's a waste of time. And that's why I'm putting radios in file cabinets. Even if I'm not going to use them, even if I don't want them, I am not dealing with a bunch of idiots at a ham fest trying to get my radio from me for $50, $40 or something like that. So, but yeah, they do sell for $100. I mean, I bought the other one over there for $110. Oh, what did he want? He wanted $115. And then a guy next to him had one that was in worse condition and he wanted $300 for it. And I don't think it came with anything at all. So... I don't know. It's kind of a stalemate on these things. Like people ask too much money for them. They don't sell. When you want to sell them, they don't sell. You have to kind of like be in the middle. If you want to sell one of these, it's going to be $75. You take it to a ham fest and you put it $75 and somebody will buy it. But then after I've spent $60 in diesel driving to the ham fest, is it worth it for me to sell one of these for $75? Absolutely not. No. Not unless I just want to get rid of it. So, and since I have 3 of them and I like them, they would be stupid to get rid of any of them for $10 or $15. And I can always use one for parts for the other one, But I got to decide which is going to come out of here, and then hopefully I can give myself a little bit more operating room. So... I'll have a video up with the file cabinet probably later on. I really don't know if I'm going to put it out here. I have no idea where the hell I would put it because it's quite tall. I probably could move my drill press over here and shove it in that corner. That might be the best thing to do. What I need to do is empty out some of these toolboxes and do something with them. I got that area back there too, kind of hogging up space because the heater has to be elevated for the thing to clear. So, there's an empty corner in there, kind of like where I've like made a pile of stuff. But there's a shelf holding a power conditioner and some speakers, and so we just have to get some stuff taken care of, and it's just gonna take time. I'm like, I want instant results, and it never works. So then I got my tattoo area and then my guitar corner, so it's just I basically trying to put 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound bag. It's just what it is. So anyway, we're gonna try and get some stuff done before we get ready to get on the radio. I didn't really get a chance to really do anything today on the radio other than drive around and listen to lots of people on 10 meters. So we'll catch you guys in a little bit.